It's a reset time. I'm feeling really positive about 2025 and I don't want to jinx that. So in this video, you can expect me in the gym on the 31st. I also talk a little bit about how it feels to kind of compare yourself to people when they're posting everything that they've done in the previous year, like reflecting, as well as I just talk about my vision board, and I'm also going to talk about my goals as well for the year. So if you're interested in any of those things and seeing how I get started with 2025, then stick around and watch the rest of the video. Come to the gym to start off my year on the right foot a day early. One of my goals in the new year in 2025 is to actually get way fitter than I did this year, eating well and just getting in like the best shape that I can. Also, I'm trying to get better at like filming myself in public because I have such a thing that as soon as someone is like in my area and I'm trying to talk to the camera and just be, I just get really embarrassed. So yeah, that's also on the list of things that I want to do this year. So before, I was like thinking, oh my god, I've hardly achieved anything this year, because you know how people just upload these like dumps of the year, like so like my Instagram feed has been full of them. I was like, oh my god, I've not really achieved, like I've not done anything, and I was comparing myself, which again, comparison is the thief of joy. I was trying to like tell myself that, but it's sometimes you get into those headspaces and it's really hard to get out of them. Like I've been trying to not be on social media so much at the minute because it's just not good for my mental health. But yeah, no, I was like, oh my god, like people have done so many amazing things, like look at everything they've achieved, all the places they've been, etc. And it was just like put me in a really bad place. But then this morning I had breakfast, I had like a little coffee with my boyfriend, and I was like, okay, let's like look through my camera roll, which is one of the reasons why I love documenting my life, because if you look back, like it's so easy to forget everything that you've done. And I kind of just sat there and went through my photographs on my camera roll, and I was like, actually wait a minute, like I've actually done so many things. It might not be the same as what everyone else has done, but at the same time there's so many things that I've achieved or done or experiences that I've had this year that I've completely forgotten about, and I just had to like remind myself of those things that I've done. And then it really shifted my mindset. I was like, hold on, I've actually done so much. So yeah, I think it's sometimes you get into such a bad headspace that yeah, you have to really like actually be aware and reflect. Reflection is so important. That was just like something I really wanted to talk about and share, because I felt myself in that space this morning. If you're feeling like that, honestly, go through your camera roll, sit down and think and really picture everything that you've done this year, because it's so easy to forget. Just be grateful for everything that you have done. Like it might not be the same as everyone else.Maybe someone has done more than you, but there's definitely other people out there that have done less than you. And I just think it's a really important thing to do. But yeah, I did that this morning and it was such an eye-opener. Happy New Year, happy 2025. We are in the future. It is the first of the year. Had a really cute night. We did the grapes, for those of you who don't know. So I live in Spain and the tradition is to eat 12 grapes. Each grape is for each month of the year. So that's a tradition which I really love. It's really cute. And then you all kind of like sit around and wait for this random Spanish woman, like presenter, to reveal her outfit, which is always every year horrendous. And then this morning we got up and went for a dip in the sea. It was freezing, very chilly, but a super cute way to start the year. It's the third year that we've done that now. And I'm just kind of trying to finish up my yearly review of 2024, because as I said yesterday, the whole thing where I was having a coffee with my boyfriend and I was thinking, oh my god, like we've hardly done anything this year. Just being super negative, and I was like, oh my god, like look at all these cool things people have done. They've had such a cool year. Like we've not done as much, or I've not achieved as much. Like again, I've openly said this on my channel before, that I'm someone that expects a lot from myself, so I have to be really conscious and aware of kind of reminding myself and reflecting and like seeing everything that I have done. So yeah, I was in that headspace yesterday, but then I was like, I'm gonna look at my phone. I flicked through my photos and I realized actually I have done a lot. And like once I started listing off all of the things, I was like, no, I've done a lot of cool things. Okay, maybe I haven't done some stuff that other people have done. And I then thought about it and I was actually, I'm gonna try and do an end of year review for myself. I actually wanted to visualize it. So I was trying to get like inspiration from like other Notion templates, and I just wanted to like put stuff together into the one that I have. Also, if you've bought the template that I've created, anything that I make, any changes, like you will have those, and I'll like copy those into the paid version, because I'm using my own version, which obviously I'm making changes to. But if I make any changes which I actually think are good changes and I think should be included, I will include those, and then you can kind of access that at any time. But yeah, what I've done is I've created like a little like January highlights, and then I've taken all of my images and like just basically thrown them in here, done bullet points essentially of any moments that like highlights from that month. And I'm thinking going forward this year, like I might try and do it on a monthly basis with like my monthly reviews. I might then sit down at the end of each month and think about, okay, what have I done and what moments do I want to like remember and reflect on? Because I did find it a little bit difficult. Like if I didn't have these photographs, I would find it so much harder to remember all of the things that happened. So I think it's good to do like a monthly review. Otherwise you do forget all the little details, especially when you try at the end of the year. If you're trying it on in December to reflect on something maybe that happened in February, it's quite likely that you're gonna not remember everything, or not remember everything from how it was. And I think if you capture a moment as soon as possible, you're gonna be able to remember it better, and you're gonna be able to capture the feelings that you had and the gratefulness and everything. Another thing that I looked at was like the trips I've taken, maybe any life moments and achievements. So that's kind of what I'm trying to cover at the minute, is any milestones and achievements, because this year I lost my job in August and then started a community, and I was downplaying everything. I was like, no, well, I lost my job, I'm employed, like I've been everyone's like, no, you've done this thing, like this community, it's grown, you've done amazing events. And I was like, yeah, but maybe I haven't done like as many events as I would have liked to do, like grow more, blah 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 blah. But again, not appreciating where I am, and everyone's like, no, like 6 months ago it was just an idea and now it's an actual thing. So yeah, just trying to actually, I think, just give myself that acknowledgement of the efforts that I have put in, rather than focusing on the stuff that I haven't achieved, focus on the things that I have achieved. And I was going through final things with my goals as well, and just trying to really understand them, because you can say a goal, but if you don't truly understand it, you don't know in which direction you're heading towards. You could say, okay, I want to become fit and healthy in 2025, but what does that mean to you? Like, what is that definition of fit and healthy? So I think just really understanding those, like all my goals. So I'm going through and just kind of finalizing the description, like what the goal is, why do I want to achieve it, and what would the goal look like what would it look like to actually achieve it by the end of the year. Yeah, I'm trying to get a better understanding of each one of my goals and my why behind it. Like I really need to hammer in my why and what it actually visually looks like for me to achieve that goal, so it's easier to measure and say, yes, I've done this goal, so that you can actually pat yourself on the back at the end of the year and say, yes, I have done these things, rather than comparing yourself and saying, I could have done more. You can actually see that, like, no, I've done so many things and it's been great. And another thing that I'm going to do is a letter to my future self. I think that's what I'm going to write to myself, because I think that'll be really sweet. I'm going to try not to pressure myself and be like, oh my god, I have to get all of this done ASAP Rocky, because it's the first of the year and I have to get started. Like, I don't want to feel that pressure or feeling overwhelmed by like having to have everything done. That's another thing I really want to focus on, is a reset routine, a reset system, so that if I do find myself falling off of track, because that is going to happen, it's inevitable. I'm not going to be perfect from day one. I'm going to be like smashing my goals. Like, you're going to fall off track at some point. So I think it's trying to find that way that works, like the system where you can repeat it and then get back on the track that you need to go on pretty quickly. Look how pretty. Basically, let me show you, because she's so pretty. I've made myself a vision board, and now last year I made a vision board but I didn't actually post it anywhere, where this year I've made it my desktop background, and also I put it onto my phone, not the actual background, but background that's part of like when you're scrolling through the apps, just so it's like always visually there. And some of the quotes that I've got on it is, be the energy that you want to attract, because I think that is so true. If you are constantly negative, you're going to be attracting negative energy. And to get rich doing what I love, because yeah, I really want to find my true passion, which I have found in terms of like building community and bringing people together and creating events. Like, it brings me so much joy, and that's something I learned in 2024, so I really want to continue doing that and hope that it can become a career. That would be honestly the dream. I would love that so much, because yeah, it just, to be able to make money and also do something that you love is, I think, such a privilege that not many people have. And yeah, I would just really love to make that happen for myself, so that's like a big goal for me, and also to attract incredible opportunities into my life. So we'll see, but I'm really enjoying having the vision board, and maybe the vision board will change, but I think it's a really nice visual representation of the things that I would like for this year. And I think just by seeing it on the regular helps remind me why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. New year, new goals. I'm feeling so good about my goals this year. So good about my goals. I feel like last year, I said this in my last video, I did too many, and I think I didn't have the clarity that I needed, that I definitely have. Maybe not on all of my goals, but majority of my goals this year. And I think the clarity is what I was missing, because if you don't really know why you're achieving something and the how, like how are you actually gonna make it happen. So this year I've created like a whole new template. I have a whole video about it. I'll put the link below in the description if you want to check it out. I've got quite a few different goals. I probably will add more, more as the year goes on. But again, I didn't want to feel like I had to have everything figured out now, because I felt there's such a pressure to have everything figured out. It's like, okay, first day of the year or first weeks of the year, what are you doing with the rest of your year? Like, things can change. And I felt like I was too locked in last year to my goals, which I felt like I had to plan everything from January all the way through to December, which isn't the case at all. First goal that I've got is actually to invest. I've said 2,000 euros into stocks. I mean, first of all, I need to get a job, but once I have an income, I can start investing into stocks again. This was something I started doing last year because my goal was to start investing. I use a robo-advisor. I really don't actually think too much about all this kind of stuff. I just put my money in and let them take a small percentage. Maybe I won't do that forever, but I think in the where I am at the minute, I just wanted to start. So yeah, I want to keep building on that. Another goal of mine is to actually read 6 books in 2025. So last year I set myself the goal of 12 books. Was a little bit optimistic. I don't read that much. I have to really push myself to read. Like, I had to put myself in situations to read. I really want to incorporate reading more into my life, especially maybe instead of like going on my phone, like having a book close by that I can pick up and read it. I honestly notice so many positives if I read before bed. Like, my eyes water with like tiredness whenever I read before bed, so I sleep like a baby. So that's one goal. Again, 6 books I felt like was achievable for me. I didn't want to set it too high like I did last year. It was 12, so even if I did read 6 books, which was such a step up from the year previous, I still felt that I hadn't achieved that much because I'd set that goal so high. So this year I've done 6 books. Another thing that I wanted to do was sell digital products, so that I've already started on, and I kind of wanted to try a little bit more with that. And by digital products, I mean Notion templates. I really enjoy making them for myself, and I really want to upgrade my Notion setup in 2025. So if I create anything that I actually am proud of and want to sell, I'm going to sell them. The next one that I have on my list is to become conversational in Spanish. Now, this was to get a B1 certificate, but I've changed that because I don't want to learn Spanish to pass an exam. I want to learn Spanish to actually be conversational in my everyday life, to be able to talk to my boyfriend's family, like his Spanish side, and just also to maybe make some Spanish friends. I don't know. I'm so bad at Spanish, and honestly, like, it's not been a priority for the whole time that I've lived here, and it's embarrassing to admit, but yeah, it's always fallen to the bottom of the list. I've always fallen out. I don't know, I find it such a chore to learn Spanish, so I really want to find a way that I enjoy learning it. So my idea around that is that it'll become a focus goal at some point in the year, where it'll be one of the 3 things that I'm focusing on, because I'll get to other stuff. Like, there's a few other things I want to achieve, but I don't want to end up doing it both at the same time, or like multiple things at the same time, because then it is true that I get overwhelmed and I'm not able to actually fully study because other things take priority within that time frame. My next goal is to actually grow on social media. So again, this was to get, like, originally I had this as getting monetized on YouTube, but it is true that I want to focus both on YouTube and Instagram, but finding a balance where, again, not burning myself out. So in the past, I've set myself a goal of, okay, let's post 3 times a week on Instagram, and for me, that's just not sustainable. I definitely want to dedicate some time to actually try to grow on social media and strategize and just think properly about it, rather than just throwing out content. I actually want to think clearly and just try. Because again, who knows what trying in 2025 might get me, but I think I just need to focus on it and really attempt to do well with it and see where it takes me. My next goal after that is actually to build my career. So for those of you who don't know, I lost my job in August, and honestly it was the best thing to ever happen to me. Like, I'm so grateful that I don't work there anymore, but it's, yeah, now open up the doors that I really need to focus on my career and building it and finding out like the next step. I'm currently looking for a new job, but then I'm also exploring the idea of freelancing. But because I wasn't prepared to lose my job, like, it came as like a big ass shock, I wasn't in the place where I was like building up anything to freelance, so it kind of just like got thrown at me. So it's taken a bit of time to process. I was so unhappy in my career and my job, and I'd been in it since 2019, so since I left university. I was in an industry that I really didn't like, and it just, I don't know, it just really didn't fill me with passion, joy, anything. Like, I was coming away from work drained, and I didn't want to climb the ladder or anything, and so it just kind of, I felt very stuck in it. So I felt without having lost my job, I maybe never would have taken that leap. So I'm very grateful for losing my job, but now I'm in a place where I really need to focus on building my career and figuring out what I want to do next, what skills I want to get. I feel like I was cruising for so many years, but now I'm actually, okay, what do I want to learn? Like, I really want to learn more about community building. I find that so interesting. I really want to learn maybe some paid ads and try and like home in on the skills within social media management, because I'm a social media manager, but I've also done SEO, so marketing journaling is like my base. So on the back of that, I really want to focus on actually growing my community. So my community is something that I started after I lost my job. It was an idea that I had for a few months because I actually moved away from the UK. I live in Spain. So when I moved here, it was like very difficult to find friends. The older that you get, the harder it is. And if you are working remote, it can be quite difficult to meet new friends, especially girlfriends. So I wanted to create a space, and I know that there's a lot of these in bigger cities, but there was nothing like that here. So I wanted to create a community of women who can get together, who are around their 20s and 30s. You just want to do fun things together, have experiences, because I noticed that I have a lot of friends, but a lot of them were becoming catch-up friends. So rather than experiencing life with them, I was just merely catching up with them and saying like, this is what I've got up to, what have you been up to? And I wasn't really actually experiencing life with them. And when I would meet up with people, maybe we'd just go for a coffee. And as lovely as that is, I actually wanted to do more experiences. The step that I had to start was just starting the community, which I did. It grew super fast. I've created really cool events. Like, I'm really proud of it. But now I'm in this place of like me and my boyfriend are in the place of kind of trying to figure out what the next step is for it. So I want to just grow the community, and then within that will be like 250 members, releasing an app, which we want to do, and whatever then comes after that. Again, it's hard to say what the whole year's goals will be for this one. It's so funny because, like I said before, with my job, like I really struggled because it just didn't feel like it didn't set anything on fire. It didn't make me feel alive. I felt like I didn't want to grow in the companies that I was working for. Like, it was just to get the paycheck. And once I lost my job and I had an opportunity to actually go all in with doing something that really aligns with me, like I love connection and connecting people, and it brings me so much joy and so much happiness. Like, I remember when we had the launch party, I was just so happy just seeing people connect and seeing people happy, and know that I was able to be play a part in these people coming together and making a memory and doing something cool together. So it really means a lot to me, and I get upset every time I do every time I talk about it, because it really means a lot. So I really want to grow this community. Oh my god, lame, I'm crying on camera. It's something that means a lot to me, so I really want to focus on that this year. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it'll grow to where I want it to be, but if I don't try, I'll never know. So yeah, I definitely want to focus on that this year and see what we can make happen. My next goal is to actually get my golf handicap, so get federated. Went to golf for the first time 3 years ago, and since then I've kind of been on and off with trying to learn golf. And now for anyone that has tried golf or plays golf, you know how frustrating this sport is, and it doesn't matter how much time you spend on it. Like, sometimes you could be doing amazing one day, and then the next day you go and it's like you've never played golf in your life. It is the most humbling sport ever. But I don't have a handicap. I'm not federated. Like, I don't really actually know where I am in terms of like skill set. I just go to the driving range, practice a bit. Next one is actually to get my PT qualifications. So at the start of last year, so a year ago, I ended up paying, because again, I was in a place of my job where I was like, get me out. I don't know what I want to do. Figuring out like, what can I try that might stick, that might help me get out of this career that I'm currently in. And I love going to the gym. I've gone to the gym for years. I thought it'd be really cool to get my PT qualification, so I paid for it, but I haven't finished it. I ended up doing the level 2, but I need to do the level 3 as well. But also I need to go to the UK to do the practical exam, so that's also like a bit of a barrier that's been like there for me. It's like, oh, I have to book flights, find hotels, all this kind of jazz. Yeah, it's been a bit of a barrier for me, but this year I actually want to rip off that band-aid. I'm actually going to study for it a bit today because I've got some free time, and yeah, I'm going to try and book some flights, hotel, and just get in a date, and then say, okay, this is the date that I have to have it done by, and go, because I don't know what life might bring for me. I really don't know. So I just want to be able to have stuff in my back pocket, like plan B, plan C, where if say I moved abroad somewhere, I couldn't get a job, maybe I could go work in a gym, maybe I could try PTing, maybe it's something I might end up loving, but unless I try, I don't know. So I want to get it this year, so it's done. And my next goal is to actually feel really good in my body and feel confident, because I feel like I lost a part of that, most definitely. I gained a little bit of weight when I had an injury, and then I feel like it's never got back to where I was. So I just really want to feel strong, healthy, with eating well, and also confident in my own body. So that's definitely going to be like the overarching goal for the whole entire year, is to get better at going to the gym, find a better system for eating healthier and not getting overwhelmed when it comes to cooking. I think with meditating and incorporating really healthy habits into my life, I will naturally just feel a lot more confident. But I just want to be able to look at myself in a video, in a photo, whatever it is, or walk around and just feel very happy in my own skin and proud of myself and just embody confidence. And I want to be able to walk into a room and have that energy reflect and maybe make other people feel good as well, because I feel like that's something I really like to embody, is like just I want to be that person where I can walk into a room and into a conversation and I naturally maybe lift the mood or anything. And I mean that like the least. I don't want that to be in any kind of way where it's like cocky or cringy or whatever. I just mean, you know, those types of people where they just light up a room, and I really want to be one of those people. Like, I don't want to be someone that comes in and everyone's like, oh, here's Anna. No, she's all doom and gloom. Like, I don't want to be that person. I want to be positive. I want to be bright. I want to be a bright energy, and both for myself and for other people around me. And with that, yeah, I want to feel strong and get my fitness body back. Like when I was popping off at the gym, I just felt so good. I felt capable. I want to learn how to do handstand. We take our health and our bodies for granted, and I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be so grateful for the body that I have. So that's something I really want to focus on this year. And yeah, just being healthy, just happy, healthy. I want to be a happy, healthy gal. And then the final one that I have is actually one that I'm carrying over from last year, is to complete a full digital declutter, because my technology is a mess. Like, my hard drive is a mess. I have so many random different folders, the like bookmarks on my laptop on my Google Chrome. My iCloud is currently full. Anything that I have, I just need to go through and actually dedicate time. I underestimated last year how long it would take me, because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna spend this afternoon and declutter my photos on my phone. No, like that takes so much time. So for this one, I know that I have to dedicate like the whole year. Like by the end of 2025, I would hope that I have done a full digital declutter and just take it bit by bit, because I feel like decluttering the photos and videos on my phone will probably take me a few weeks of like being consistent every day and doing like maybe like an hour each day, if that, like maybe even more. I don't know, but I know it's going to take me a long time. So these are all my goals for this year that I have so far. Again, I didn't want to start off the year with like a list of 10,000 things. I mean, I already have a lot of stuff here that I want to work on, which I have to tell myself it doesn't have to be a lot. Like I downplay the amount of things I'm working on, like, and I don't mean to. Like, I always see things as like I could do more, but I think the list that I have right now is a big enough list, and I got lots of stuff to work on. But yeah, we'll reflect. I'll definitely do check-ins throughout this year to let you guys know how I'm getting on. Happy New Year again. I wish you guys all the best with your goals, and I will see you very shortly in my next video. But thank you again for watching. Lots of love. Bye.